surf's in about the 3 to 5 foot range today. It's pretty steep and hollow. So this Molkoy 510 would be my board of choice. It's actually 510, 18 and 3/8 and 2 1/4. It's got the option of quad or thruster fin setup. I pretty much always ride a thruster. It's what I feel most comfortable on. I think less is more, so that's what works for me. But what I really like about this board is it still has like a full high performance surfboard outline. So it turns really tight and critical in the pocket. Molkoy, he surfs and kites this board pretty much 90% of the time. You know, you'd expect it to be a good board, and since I've started riding it, I've been on it, pretty much 1 out of 2 surfs. So I'm digging it. In terms of the construction, it's an epoxy finish. It's slightly more buoyant than like a standard polyester board. But to be honest, once you've ridden it a couple of times, you don't even notice it. And in terms of strength, it's not really that much stronger. I think it's more of the feel, really. But like any polyester or epoxy hand-shaped board, look after it. There's a lot of work put into them, and it's not sad to break a board surfing it, but it is sad to wreck a board, because you're just throwing it around in the back of your car or whatever. So treat these hand-shaped boards like you treat your girlfriend, with a lot of respect. Now, if it was still the same size as what it is today, but sort of flatter and mushier, this is my go-to board. I've been riding this board for about 3 years now, and I would say that I've ridden it in 80% of my surf and kite sessions over the last 3 years. It's the most versatile board I've ever had. Basically what I've done with this board is taken the template off my existing 6'1" standard performance shortboard and cut the tail off. So although it looks a little bit shorter and wider, it's not really at all. I've actually flattened out the rocker a fair bit. It doesn't have that much rocker in it, but what that really helps with is paddling into waves. It makes it much easier and you can paddle a lot faster, but also through those flat, mushy sections, it really holds and maintains its speed. And I love doing airs on this board kite surfing. Feels like it's just built for them. You can see here, I've put a slight crease through it. This is just a standard polyester board. It's got a 4 on the bottom and a 4 on the top. And, in terms of strength, it's not that strong. But, like if I break this riding a wave, then I break it riding a wave. For me, it's all about the feeling. And I just don't think anything these days compares to, your standard polyester shortboard construction in terms of feeling. I mean, this is the most alive board I've pretty much ever been on. And that's the big difference between, like a standard polyester construction and a pop-out style board. This board is my standard 6'1" high performance shortboard. It's not so much about the shape with this board, it's all about the construction. I feel like forever I've been trying to find a construction that is stronger than a normal surfboard construction, but still has the same feel. A lot of the sort of pop-out boards and moulded boards that I've tried before just feel really stiff and basically dead in the water. This board doesn't feel as good as my polyester boards, but I tell you what, it's the closest thing that I've ever had. It still has a really nice flex through it. It feels alive in the water, but most of all, like this board is probably 2 to 3 times stronger than my polyester boards. I've had this particular board and I've been using it for about the last 18 months. It's got a really slight heel dint in it. I've worked this board, and you know, like I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking at the moment. My standard size and the size of this board for my shortboards is 6'1", 18 1/4, 2 1/4. You know, like I'll vary the rails and the concave and rocker and stuff throughout that, but they're pretty much my standard dimensions. So anyone, you know, like trying to pick a board, you know, once you find a shape that you like, and there's a million shapes out there, try as much as you can. And it's a matter of giving them a good go and, you know, just feeling what works best for you. Then it comes down to the construction and really whether you're looking for the ultimate performance side of things or whether you're looking for something that's going to last you a long time. And then, you know, you're going to have boards like this, which is a little bit of both, you know, where they're still really high performance, but the construction is a lot stronger than a normal surfboard.